Oh, forgot my light. Hello. Okay. Where we left off yesterday, things were broken, but we are successfully parsing the concatenation into a single name. But I think what I decided overnight was I don't like this syntax. I think I do want this concat directive so then it's very clear what the thing is and it's not ambiguous at all. But to do that, we're going to have to upgrade the lexer a little bit here. We're going to remove this and sorry. And we're going to stop. So when we lex a preprocessor directive, I think what we can do here is when we see a wait a minute. Snippet? Custom directive, right? So what custom directives do we have right now? Any of, type, tag, external, file name, function, line number, counter, stringify. Okay. Stringify is one that works exactly like we want concat to work. It just takes a thing. So why don't we just do that? So now we should be parsing concat, right? Yes, but we just don't know what it is. So how about actually, instead of this being, I don't think we actually want this. We can try it and just see what happens. If we say this is a custom preproc, what do we think this is? Yeah, I think what we want here is so when we do the identifier, right? Here. So lazy lex. Here's where we do, get rid of this. Here's where we do an identifier. And then we skip it. And then we should immediately see this and do the preprocessor directive. And instead of it being a custom one, we can say concat is a special case to handle the parens and stuff. And we insert it as a token identifier. So I think what we want to do here is say, okay, when we see a concat, we don't add the preproc. We add I think we just skip it. Yeah, I think what we do, we skip over it. Okay, so this is actually for snippets. Right, okay. Right, okay, so we can actually skip this. We're looking for do we have an expect here? We don't. We have an error. No. Lexer error. We do have a lexer error here. So skip that. If peak token no, wait. What do we have here for peaking tokens? Peak until peak character. Is it just character? Yeah. If peak character lexer cursor does not equal, so after concat we expect to see that, and if we don't, then this is a token identifier error. We return. Otherwise we skip. Do we have a skip character? No, skip characters. Cursor 1. Do we have an advance? No, just skip characters 1. That's fine. So we see concat, we skip it. We expect there to be a open paren, skip that, and now we want to go until we hit that. Or really, should go until we hit a non-identifier. So peak until non-identifier, right? Because what should be in there is an identifier. So and then we add an identifier that is just that. We skip over it. Then check for and skip the closing. Check for and skip the open. Okay, this should be closing. And we're good. That should be it. So we added another identifier there. Unrecognized text and argument. The thing we expect here is concat. Okay. 150. Okay. That's actually a good sign. So is this in the... Right, because now we're getting rid of the fact this is we're getting rid of the fact that this is a concat at all. I think. Because the only thing we're adding is another identifier. Which means this is 2 identifiers in a row, which means we shouldn't actually be, we should be back to where we were before, actually. Right? So we see one identifier, we grab it, grab the next thing, and as long as the next is another identifier, here we go. Aha, so we are checking explicitly for this. I suppose we don't actually have to do this anymore. Because if we see another identifier, if we see two identifiers in a row, it means they got concatenated. And the lexer would have already caught if that wasn't true. So I don't even think we need this part. Great. So here we go. Variable underscore argument. It's turning this and just grabbing out this part on its own. So that's good. That means this part's doing its job. And let's just verify that if this is outside of a snippet, that it doesn't work. So like args 0 args, right? Only supported in snippets. That's great. Okay, so now we want something in here to tell us what we want in here is identifier equals something plus identifier plus something. Like we could do this, right? Failed to lex. Really? Why is that a failed to lex? Failed to, is that in here? No. Is that in the parser? No. That's in code gen. Oh, right, because we... Wait. Failed to lex. Oh, we're not printing the error. Downwards... No. Downwards recursive. Lex, parse, and run metaprograms. Are we returning the error here? No, we're returning the parser. That's why. We're not doing anything with this error. Although, yeah, we are. We're returning it here. Lex, parse, and run? No. Who calls that? Oh, in here. Lex, parse, and run. If not error, if... Okay, so we just never print out that status. That's why. So... write output. I need to get this as a string. Which I think we have, because this is just the token, right? Downwards. So the error is what returns from Lex source code. And Lex source code returns, this is not a B32, returns a lexer error, which is a token. So we should be able to say here, lexer token type strings, unless I already have a helper for this. Lexer token type strings. Nope. This error right, I think. There we go. There. Okay, failed to lex this token identifier. Can we not get more specific than that, really? Do we have like a running line, running column, right? We can use those. Line int to string lexer. Oh, do I not have the lexer here? I don't. Okay. Okay, can this not happen in here? If lexer error, then running line plus the same thing, but it's running column. This is not error, this is lexer error. There we go. And actually, let's put this here. Let's make that a colon. Okay. So, 203 C2 should also be able to print the file number or the file name. So let's do this. Let's print this. Oh, hold on. Failed to lex. Let's do that here. Failed to lex file path. And then here we go. We'll say short. Nah, we'll just do it in multiple passes. That's fine. That, and then that. File path is not intercapped. Failed to okay, there's two failed to lexes now because why? Failed to lex. There is another one. Yes, there is. Okay. So failed to lex, that token identifier here. This will go up here. I knew that looked weird. This will go here. The line has to come. Okay, this doesn't happen at all, actually. And let's just see what my parser error looks like, because it should match. That file path plus, I don't know why that's there. So this should be failed to lex, boom, line column, Boom. And this should not be a tab. Let's make this 4 spaces. There we go. Failed to lex, main, 203 C2. That's not right at all, though. That's not right at all. Why not? Lexer, running column, running line. Oh. Wait. Is it because we don't stop? We don't stop, do we? While cursor length and not lexer error. Yes. It's because we didn't actually stop. That's weird. We just stop lexing now if there's an error. 149.26. No. 149.20. The line is 1 off. Oh, because when we hit the error, we don't skip? Oh, because the line is 1 off. The lexer internally counts from 0. By the time we get to the parser, we automatically add 1 to it, so we don't have to think about it. That's why. 50, 26, 50, 26. Okay. That's what that was about. So, great. Back to the parser. Okay. Great, so where are we at now? Failed to lex token identifier. Why? So we're hitting one of these. When we see this, we skip it. We grab the directive. If it's concat, we skip it. There should be an open paren, which there is. Skip it. We grab the identifier, and then... Oh. We're skipping too many things. This should happen just here. Great. Okay. So now if we go look at the generated code, we should see those braces around it now. There. So we are officially appending this, and we should probably have different things than square braces. Yeah. This is just for the intermediate step between lexer and parser. Or rather, parser and code gen. So, like, something just unused elsewhere. Right? So there. So now when the snippet code comes through to replace this, it knows exactly what to grab, which is in between these. I guess. replace snippet calls. Here we go. So here, try to concat nodes in snippet should be what's doing this. And that needs a better name anyway, so this can be divided by 2 because we will call this do concatenation. So we have one thing, variable underscore at argument at has one thing to concatenate. So this needs to do that now, but it needs to do it like it basically needs to do what this is doing. Like I can do this the really slow, lazy way to get it working, which I kind of want to do. Okay, once we know here's what we're gonna do. For loop index 0, loop index is less than at count plus loop index. So we will loop over this as many times as we have to replace things. So the first thing we have to do is get the char index from left in this of the at sign, and then +1, I think. Next index, or next is this. After is from left. It will be this again, but this no. Do I have a char index from left? Let's pass in a starting ID. Starting index. And it'll just equal 0 by default. So by default, it just looks from the beginning. Otherwise, it will look from where we ask it to, which will be next. So let's just print this. No matching function call for why not? Short string. Oh, these are short strings? Oh, these are short strings. That's fine. I think I want these in both places anyway. Oh, but we have to actually use it. That would help. Okay, next is at 10 and 18. So if we look at this, here, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the 10th thing, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So that's our first place. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, right? So 10 to 18 is what we wanted. So we should be able to say decl name is substring ss, the name, next after. Should be able to just say write output decl name. So we should grab argument. Right, that should be -1. Okay, so we've grabbed the decl name out of there, and let's keep a running tally of running index is 0. When we're done, running index will be after. And this will be running index. Yes. Okay, so that didn't work. So running index is 0. We start from, right, this is not here. This is here. I don't know how that compiled, honestly. There we go. So argument still works, but now if we have more than one in here, it should pick the rest up as well. So we should see 2 of these now. 1 argument and 1 arguments. Except we don't. Because this should be +1. So we have to skip that one. I feel like that should have worked. So we start at 0. We grab from the left-hand side for the first at, which will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this will be 9, 10. Then after starts from 10, which is here, and goes until the next at, which is here. And we grab that, right? So we grabbed argument right here. Then running index. Let's do this. Running index plus equals no, after should be all we need. It should just be after. A little confused because we're grabbing world, which implies to me that we're grabbing between these, which we shouldn't be. So let's just step through it. Stop guesstimating here. We're in code gen. Do concatenation. Here we go. Don't need this. Don't need this. Okay. So the at count is 2. Next is 10. After is 17. So if we look at the node info decl variable name, right? So we're going from let's do this. Next and after. And we'll also do running index. Okay, so we are going from 10 to 17, right? So we grab 10 to 17. Great. Now running index should equal 17. Okay. Now character index from left, starting at running index. Oh, starting at running index, which in this case, right, because we're before this even. Right. This should be plus, no, that's not here, here. Plus 2. It's because we weren't at the at sign, we were one before the at sign. There we go, yes. Okay, great. So we can grab as many of these as we want, as long as it's formatted correctly. So, next step is match the decl name to one of our parameters. So now, when I see argument here, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove this one because that was just for testing. When I see argument here, I need to match it to this. So I can just say, we're gonna say we need to make a alias for this node. Subnode, I guess. And all these will be node with subnode. And actually subnode, let's say subnode. Then here, we're going to, for each node of type in tree, do decl param. Is it just a decl param when we're in a snippet? Yes. Or is it a preproc param, actually? We see a snippet, we parse param decls. These are just parameters. Yes. So for each in snippet copy, or no, snippet, yes. For each parameter, if node info decl variable. So let's store this because we're going to want to use it a lot. And actually, let's just store a pointer to it so we don't even have to mess with any of that. This can just be name. This can just be name. So if the parameter's name is equal to our name, param match equals node break. What did we call this? Can we just break normally? Break out of for each. I think we can just do that. I think. Then we say if not param match, that will be a parse error or a error and report error and exit. So we can say here, if we didn't, we're gonna say this will be the snippet copy. I actually don't. No, because we rebased the line numbers down here. Oh no, this will be in the. Never mind. This will be in the snippet itself. So that's fine. We can do the snippet copy. That's fine. So here we're gonna say unable to match concatenated identifier to snippet parameter. Should that come before or after? I don't know, so I'm gonna just do it this way. This is just name. And we're gonna pass it the snippet. We're gonna pass it the node, subnode, right? Unable to match concatenated identifier. That's not correct. This is decl name. Unable to match argument to snippet parameter on 147. Nope, it needs to be this thing's line. So this is subnode. 150, yeah. Unable to match concatenated identifier argument to snippet parameter. Although it should be able to do that here. So why it couldn't is a little confusing. Because this is decl name. This is not a pointer. Great. So I think it did match. So when it matches, all we have to do No, I need the index of this. Param match index. This is actually just the index of the parameter. And we'll say it's an S32. Param match index is node index, I think. So then if not param match index, same thing? No. No, if param match index is less than 0. Great. Okay. So now we should be able to pull out of the call site. We need the call site here. So we need this. Matching param. Okay, so matching call site node is the snippet call children param match index. But the first thing is the decl ref. So the parameters start after 1. So let's just see if we can get this. Shall we? We gotta call this with the call, which is just node, right? Yeah. Great. So now we're grabbing the thing they passed into us right here, which in this case is a 52. That's awesome. So do we have a way to tell if we can resolve things? Resolves to literal. So we're gonna call resolves to literal on this. Let's see if that still works, which it does. And if it's not something that resolves to a literal, this is gonna error. So if not matching call site node, we'll call this resolved matching call site node. That's a parse error, port error and exit. That's the same thing. Although wait, this happens at the call site, so this should be the well, the resolved call site node. Ooh, sorry, I'm sneezing. Unable to resolve? Do we have that? No. Can only concat things that are resolvable at compile time. Great. So if I pass something else to this, like args, this is not going to work. Wait a minute. Ported my metaprogram at location. Boom. Wait. Didn't I just test that this works? That works. What did I do wrong? Can only concat things that resolve in compile time. What did I do? Can only concat things that are resolvable at compile time. Or that we can resolve at compile time. This is the resolved and the resolved. Okay, I don't know what I did there, but we're good. At 150. Oh. Okay, we segfault now. That's... Oh, because we don't have one. Duh. Here. We need a matching call site node. Is this. And then resolved matching call site node is this. So the thing that we're doing here is the matching call site node. At location 133, which should be here, which it is, great. Can only concat things that we can resolve at compile time at 133. Wait, we don't actually need to do that, do we? Like, why do we do that here? Yeah, we don't need to do that. Why am I doing that? We don't got to do that. This handles that for us. Unable to match concatenate identifier f argument to snippet parameter. Can only concat things we can resolve at compile time. So we can't resolve args at compile time, right? Like we don't know what you passed in here at compile time. So we can't concatenate that, but we can concatenate a literal like 52. So, assuming we got all the way here, we can say that this node, subnode, info, decl variable, or we can just say star name is equal to or we'll do this. New name. I guess we need to grab the first one. So we'll say running index is here. And we'll first say that new name plus equals well, actually we'll do this. If at count we do this. If there aren't any at symbols, we don't have to do anything, first of all. Which I guess we're already not doing. Strike that. We're already not doing that because this is in a loop. So the name just stays the name. Right? If we're not concatenating anything, that just works. Although running into oops, let me go back to the way I had this. Right, so that just works. But the moment we introduce a concat oh, that's actually not going to work yet either. So let's hold off on that. Right. That doesn't work. So what we need to do is say this will be char index from left of name. We're going to look for the first @ sign. And short string new name is going to first be substring of name from 0 to running index. So we have to grab the first part if there is one. Right? We have to grab this first thing. Because right now, if I just do, right, if I just said like new name is, well, whatever. Point is that wasn't going to work. So we'll say new name plus equals decl name. And actually, we should be doing this every single time. So new name starts out like this. This should go in here. Name, new name plus equals that. So if there's anything between us and the next @ sign, we need to grab it, basically. Yeah? I don't know if that's right. So let's just print out new name at the end here. Okay, well, let's only do that if there's something to print, first of all. Okay. Not decl name. This should be the resolved. We need it as a string, so get node as string. We need this. Get node as string. The resolved call site node. Look at that. There's an @ symbol still. That's not good. This should be -1. Boom. Variable 52. So now we have new name. And star name should equal new name. So now we update the variable's name. Boom. Now we don't know what variable 52 is. So we successfully replaced it. We did it. Oops. If we look here, variable underscore concat, there's no more of that here. The snippet that we placed in here, variable underscore concat argument, got replaced with variable underscore 52. That's exactly what we wanted to happen. But now, of course, I can't use that down here because this currently only works on variable decls. So I think this will fail. Yep. So doesn't know how to do this. If I wrote just 52 here manually, that works. So everything I just did, I just need to duplicate that work for other types. Which will be decl refs for sure. Let's do decl refs now, so at least this next part works. Let's go to the parser. decl ref. Create decl ref node. Function name. Crap. So this is going to be kind of tricky, actually, because anytime we do stuff like this, where we just assume, so if we go to parse function call, yeah, this might prove to be tricky because this work that we did over here to here, where we just keep looping over the identifier and keep stacking up the name. We're going to have to do that for every place where we think we're grabbing an identifier. So like in parse expression leaf, right? We just grab the next token, like whatever. But in some places here, like here we're expecting is the thing after us supposed to be an open parent. That means we're a function call. But in a case like this, that's just going to be a lot trickier. Because what we'd have to do here is we peek the next token and like if it's an identifier specifically, we need to do the shenanigans we were doing before. But we actually don't skip here. We hop into function call, assuming that the very next token is going to be the function name. This actually, I don't think will be that bad. So here, if we know we're here, we just grab whatever's next after the identifier. I think here we can just keep checking. Skip all identifiers. Just skip all of them until we don't hit one. Then we can do this like normal. And when we go to parse function call, here we can insert the same logic that we did over here. At that point, right here. So there's a little extra to add to expression leaf, and then this same process over here, and I think we're done. Because then this decl ref, the function name it gets, is just the same built up one we did over here. That's what I'm thinking. And I think it'll work. It feels a little perilous to me. I admit. But at the same time, I don't really see... Like, what we were doing before was not great at all, and it was just, it was mucking up everything. At least this... I mean, this is still mucking things up. This is still making kind of these functions a little dirty, which is why if I can refactor some of this stuff to turn this into relatively a single function call, like try parse identifier or something, and just hoist that complexity out to a separate function. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. So I think for now, because it is getting kind of late, I started a little late tonight. I think what I'm going to do is put a to do here and say factor this out to the best of our ability to a function that will skip ahead enough to return you the proper full concatenated name. Then see the to-do in parse expression leaf about how to hopefully utilize it there, and every other place we want to parse an identifier, hoisting this complexity into a separate function, keeping the current parser code relatively the same and sane. To do. If this is an identifier, we can scout ahead until we're past all identifiers, at which point we can do our after next checks like normal. Then each function we call from there can call the try parse identifier function discussed before in, what function is this? Parse variable decl. I think that's enough info for me to know what I want to do. So call the new function try parse identifier. Okay. I feel okay about this. I'm gonna call that for tonight. Short stream, but got closer. We actually have this part working, which is awesome. So I will leave it broken again just to verify for when I come back that to do. This should work next. See to do in parse variable decl. Okay. Great. So, thank you everybody for watching. Like I said, I know it was a short stream, but sometimes it be that way. Even more concat progress. Okay. Then still in a broken state, but we now can concat variable decls to do for other added to do for decl refs next. Okay. Great. Okay. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you again soon.